Okay, I've got two questions for you. Do you like hot dogs? And have you ever backed a Kickstarter? What if we combine the two? What if we convinced a forum full of idiots to crowdfund a racist hillbilly's hot dog stand in Alabama? Today we're going to talk about Doobie's Doghouse, the best tasting hot dogs in the South. It's September 2013, and to make you feel older, Grand Theft Auto 5 had just released. Doobie is requesting for what I assume is a princely sum in Alabama, $6,000 to launch a hot dog restaurant. What better way to launch my hot dog dreams than a Kickstarter? Here's a brief excerpt from his sales pitch. It's about more than just hot dogs. Our stand was built on a love for food, a desire to foster a community, and a passion for providing Reform Alabama with high-quality, highly delicious, fresh hot dogs and sandwiches. All of our dogs are made fresh to order, and I use only local ingredients. Did we mention that our hot dog wieners are 100% Alabama and completely delicious? Until now, they've been working out of a hot dog trailer, but it's sustained some unrepairable damage to the roof, and demand for Doobie's dogs is growing. They've secured a location on the same property as an incredibly popular and busy antiques and variety store called the Mud Hole. But what about the hot dogs themselves? Let's take a look, shall we? So, the grammar needs some work, and the food images aren't that appetizing, but the raw, unbridled passion of a man that can barely operate a computer really shines through. What do we get for pledging to Mr. Doobie and his doghouse? Well, for $10, you'll get an email of thanks, and at any time of your choosing, you can come by and eat on the house. $25, well, that's a free combo meal from Doobie's Doghouse and a mention of support on his future website and Facebook. For $100, you can get your name on the website along with an advertising slot on all the tables, painted under the clear coat. You'll also eat at no charge for 30 days of your choosing. And Kickstarters love to have an absurdly high pledge tier. What, you thought 100 was a bit much? How about 500? For your pledge of this amount, you'll get all of the above rewards plus a free advertising slot on the side of the building for a year. You can even buy all 10 slots, get the wall for 2 years. It's a very high traffic area. When you do that math, it's $6 a day. Great. And yes, I will tell you what kind of person will donate $500 to the Kickstarter later in the video. We will get there. To tell you how this Kickstarter ended up, we're going to be going deep into the Something Awful forums again. As a collective of weird forum goers, they're not exactly strangers to mocking internet stupidity, and they've had an awful Kickstarters thread running since 2013, mostly just laughing at the latest idiot with a smartphone and a dream. As always, I'll remind you that members of somethingawful.com are known as Goons. Not that kind, not that kind, and definitely not that kind. An easy way to find a bad Kickstarter was just to browse the latest ones, just finding the real, raw, unfiltered garbage, grab a few of them, and post a list in the awful Kickstarters thread, and let Goons riff on it with a few jokes, and that's how Doobie's Doghouse is eventually found. On September 4th, 2013, forums user Dr. President posts Doobie's Kickstarter for the first time, and it's pretty obvious to most that it's a solidly awful Kickstarter. Look, I'm all for meager food done right, but it's not done right. I love the plastic plate with the black rim and all the ingredients are there, but it's collectively terrible. Like, the chef has only ever had the concept of a hot dog explained to him, and the chef is also a bear. The hot dogs don't even look cooked. This forum user, Naomi K, is basically right on the money. Hot dogs are like the ultimate no-effort food. He's serving trailer park grade hot dogs with supermarket buns and expecting to expand to a restaurant. If he's currently operating out of a trailer and can't make $6,000 off those prices, obviously he's not getting as much repeat business as he'd like to believe, because easy cheese and canned chili are an excellent gourmet option for dressing up supermarket wieners. It's very obvious, very, very obvious that he's passionate, but it's very obvious he's a shitty cook. One thing that's very important about a Kickstarter is that you disclose your risks and challenges. Like, if I'm running a technology Kickstarter, I might disclose that I'm at the mercy of my vendors. If I've got a chronic illness, I might disclose that. Doobie has disclosed his own. A lot of them are mostly around the extensive financial investment they have in this business, but one that sticks out to me is right at the very end. The last challenge is wastewater hookup. I haven't found the existing sewer main on the property yet, but I know it's there, and the city of Reform will hook up that service. So there ain't no shitter at this potential venue. Like most of the Kickstarters posted in this thread, Goons laugh at it for a few pages and then move on. Doobie keeps plugging away, paying a very tiny local YouTube channel run by some boys called Leviticus and Judah to do a sponsored intro.
This episode of Ashley's 14 has been brought to you by Doobie's Doghouse, home of the best tasting hot dogs in the South. Doobie's Doghouse is located in Reform, Alabama, where right now they are running a Kickstarter campaign. Click the link below to see. And now, without further ado, Ashley's 14.
And occasionally someone will come back to the Kickstarter and say, hey, he's still trying, and he seems really earnest, and eventually one bad idea turns into another, as all Goon ideas are. And they decide, you know what? Let's get behind this guy's earnest, if terrible, project. Before the first Goon donation hits, Doobie is at $80, and it's only up from here. On September 24th, now permaban user Pathetic Little Tramp says, guys, if we want this to be successful, let's do it. Goon project time. We've got 9 days to raise $5,940. I'm in for 25. Who'll match me? As an aside, they were permabanned for calling for the death of then presidential candidate Donald Trump, and swiftly got a permaban for that, but they were also the first person who paid the first money towards Doobie's Doghouse, so I guess history will judge them. A flood of Goon donations start rolling in, and Doobie notices. He's thanking each individual donor as they come in. It's very sweet. Eventually, forums moderator Sound Monkey reaches out and arranges it so that any pledge mentioning Team Frog Out should be pulled together as one mega donation, with the bonus goal of putting a giant frog on the side of the building. This frog, you might know him as the Get Out frog, is kind of like a bat signal to Something Awful members. Thankfully, no one tells Doobie that our good friend here that we're using as an art reference came from a softcore porn shoot. He doesn't need to know that, but now you know that's where the frog is from, so congratulations. It's pretty obvious looking at the Kickstarter tracker that a Goon rush quickly hits the fundraising campaign. It went from 2 donations totaling $60 to 77 individual donations worth $1,756 in about 36 hours. And a mega thread is made documenting the whole endeavor, giving Goons some rules and guidance to work with. The combination of genuine earnestness and the bribery of painting a giant frog on the side of the wall causes Goons to be a little loose with their wallets. Doobie is naturally a little overwhelmed with the support he's gotten in the last 2 days, and probably a little confused that a bunch of strange, frog-obsessed, large adult men are spamming him with Team Frog Out. But look, he's committed to have every Goon's name engraved on a plaque mounted on the wall of the doghouse. He's clarified that he will be using homemade chili, and he himself prefers shredded cheddar, but his customers have expressed a preference for processed cheese. He's even got some real bitch and local bargains on equipment, and agreed to a policy of even if you forgo your reward, if a member of Team Frog Out ever shows up at the shack, they'll get their free dog. And finally, he's agreed that Goons will get their own frog dog on the menu, with the agreement that Goons will leave the details of that to the dog expert himself. At this point, Doobie's Doghouse is the 4th most active Kickstarter for that day on the website. In fact, it's now fully funded, with over 7 days to go, and he was at the point of taking out a second mortgage and putting his family's well-being at risk. So, you know, well played to him. I do want to take a little detour. I've done some digging and I found some promotional material he's done on a karaoke app.
Doobie's Doghouse, we got chili dogs, southern style dogs, Main Street Road, Memphis barbecue dog, Pickens County, Super Doobie dog, Polish dogs, Godfather.
I hope your palate's cleansed, because I know what you're thinking. MLYP, I know we're fully funded, but I also know there's always more and it's always worse. What kind of menu did Wayne come up with? And good news, I have the proposed menu here. I will note that all combos come with chips and a drink. First up is the Frog Dog combo. This comes with ketchup, spicy brown mustard, onions, and neon green relish. The classic chili cheese dog, the southern style slaw dog, which is just a chili dog with homemade coleslaw, the Main Street griller, which has grilled cola onions and spicy mustard, the Memphis barbecue dog combo, which has sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce and grilled cola onions. What are grilled cola onions, by the way? He never explains. There's also the Pickens Co. Tornado. Its key point is that it's good and messy. The Polish dog combo, which is just have it your way, and the Godfather combo. It's our first non-dog item on the menu. It's an Italian beef sandwich with au jus. You can get it dry, wet, or soaked in said au jus. Au jus is the French word for gravy, apparently. We also have a bowl of chili with corn chips if you're wanting a nice bowl of comforting Frito-Lay corn chips. It's okay, I guess, everything you want from the Hillbilly's hot dog stand. One thing that's going to be floating in the back of my mind is $6K doesn't feel like a huge amount of money, but it's all relative. $6K is a lot of money when you're in a little place called Reform, Alabama. What is Reform, Alabama like? Well, Doobie's strongest warrior here will explain what life is like. We haven't talked too much about the town where this Kickstarter is from, but I think that's part of the story. Reform, Alabama, named apparently by an irate preacher. Population 1,675, median household income 15,000, 45% African Americans. It has a Dollar General, a Subway, a small grocery store, and some gas stations. Google Maps comically labels nothing but 3 cemeteries and an airport. It's like a place we all picture in our minds when we think of proverbial small-town America. Heck, if you walk the town, there are American flags down the entire stretch of the road, but this place has already lost a fifth of its population in 10 years. Income's already poverty line have dropped 25% in a decade. Exactly a year ago, a storm wrecked the place. It decimated a thrift store that's right next to where Doobie's Doghouse will be located. I tell you all of this just to make a roundabout point. A humble hot dog stand, of all the things in the world, could help this town. It could affect real change. It's all relative, right? If Doobie's Doghouse pops off, we can really get some actual change going. In fact, an enterprising goon even puts Doobie's Doghouse on Reform's Wikipedia page. God bless. It's here that things slowly start falling off the rails, if they were ever really on the rails. On the 27th of September, not much time has passed, but some goons start to have concerns about the location choice. Having walked up and down 82 a few times in Street View, there's more restaurants than just the Subway guys. There's a barbecue place, a Jack's, what looks like maybe a Mexican place, and several buildings that may or may not be restaurants. So there's more food than we've been led to believe. And then more goons pipe up. I just don't see how selling hot dogs for $5 each in a village in Alabama is a viable business model. What does help is that Road 82 is also the road pretty much everyone takes when traveling between Starkville and Tuscaloosa for football. And look, Wayne has informed us that rig parking is across the street from him, so his shack would be an easy visit for truckers. It also helps that dissenters get a temporary ban from the forum if they shit the thread up too much. So we're kind of at the stage I like to call peak goon delusion, where you're already invested in an outcome, so any viable criticism or questioning is very swiftly brushed aside. Many such cases here, apparently, but hey, it's October 4th, and we're funded to the tune of $14,107. 634 backers came together and blitzed past the original $6,000 goal Doobie had set for himself, and along with this great news, we've got another mini update. The original location doesn't quite work for Doobie's needs. So he's actually found another different location a quarter mile down the road that has all the sewage stuff worked out, as in it has a functioning restroom. There's already a building, is about the right size, and would cost him $100 less a month. It doesn't look great, but, it looks like a trailer park, but at least he's got a place that can legally be called a building now. But now it's time to reintroduce you to Fuck You and Die, aka Fiad. Fiad is the cool place to hang out on Something Awful. It's a subreddit where you can take it easy. That's how laid back it is. It's also the home for flame wars and bad posting, and the members of Fiad are rude and abrasive, and a lot of them are bad posters, but they also did the due diligence that other goons failed to do, like looking at Doobie's public Facebook page and seeing his racist Facebook posts. Next, you're going to tell me you found a fork in the kitchen, but our good old boy from Alabama having questionable views on race relations isn't exactly a shocker. I don't want to spend too much time on that part, but the thread slowly starts unraveling at this point. The Kickstarter is funded, Doobie's busy gutting the place, so what else can we do other than yell at each other about how donating $50 to a hick so we can sell bad hot dogs is a dumb idea for morons? Sure, $5 to $10 for a giggle is fine. However, some goons are in possession of a gene that prevents them from doing anything in moderation, which is how one of them ends up donating $500 to the Kickstarter. He donated this so he could be the one to put Doobie over the line, but to make it kind of sadder, he, his wife, and his children all agreed to forego their Christmas gifts to instead donate to this Kickstarter instead. He says he does it because he grew up near Reform, but are you serious? We end up with a good 10 pages or so of sporadic Doobie updates of his building gutting process, some goons thread shitting, and then some more goons yelling at the thread shitter. All of this doesn't change the fact that it's pretty funny that General Bullshit raised $14K for a hot dog stand in Shitholeville, Alabama, all because the guy was willing to put a cartoon frog on the wall. Of course, during all this, we do get some more bombshells, the first one being Doobie didn't do a walkthrough before leasing, he leased the building sight unseen, and the second one, turns out you need a vent hood for a commercial kitchen. Doobie was promised that one existed, his landlord had told him that, and I'll let his own words speak for him. But the reason I took the lease of this existing restaurant build was the fact it was supposed to have a vent hood. I was told all I do is go get it and install it, and guess what? The vent hood doesn't exist. So now I gotta buy one that's in code. Really sucks bad. Just an update. Thanks everyone for listening. Good thing he had Team Frog out throw an extra $8,000 at him over and above his original goal so we can go through things like this. We continue with some back and forth shit posting for another 2 weeks, and on October 23rd, we get another update. The hot dog man's almost out of money, was denied a bank loan, and is trying to get 1,000 Twitter followers to change the loan officer's mind. Also, the frog dog will be a hot dog with relish. So this got sad fast, huh? Unfortunately, this is the only way a Goon project could go down. In flames. And then topped off with cheap, bright green relish. He didn't say where the money went, but that was quick. He's done a fair bit of work on the inside of the place, and the fact there's no range hood and there's an ancient Twitter account talking about how he's just gotten traps for cockroaches means I can have a guess or three. Some goons are onto it, and from reading his Facebook updates and reading between the lines, it seems like he saw the extra cash as an opportunity to upgrade his stand from a walk-up Porto shack to trying to make an actual restaurant with places to sit inside, and there's 2 updates back-to-back pretty quickly. I bought a steam table, and I still need some affordable seating for the dining area. I'm getting dangerously low on available cash, so cheap is the word, but not ugly cheap. Followed by, I brought 2 cars with crappy credit score through them. Business loans might be different, I just need to open a line of credit just in case I don't have enough to buy my food inventory at opening time and buy some stools for the counter. We do get informed that he's not 100% out of money. He kept a good chunk of it earmarked for operating expenses, supply contracts. The total budget was to include $5K of his own money from draining his 401k and selling his boat and truck. He then found out the Kickstarter payout won't come up for a month, so rather than reduce his budget or eat up the money set aside for operating costs, he wants to get an SBA loan. The worst case scenario is that the doghouse opens a month later than planned. Unfortunately, the mysterious case of the restaurant vent hood claims another restaurant owner as a victim. The vent hood got him. The vent hood gets everybody a couple of updates later as him having to get a $2,500 fire suppression system because the vent hood demands it. A warning to all first-time restaurateurs. The vent hood hungers for you. The vent hood will ruin your life. You cannot install the vent hood yourself. Only the vent hood's expensive minions may install the vent hood. Only the vent hood's elite roofers may cut a hole in the roof for the vent hood. The only mortals that the vent hood will speak to is inspectors, and those inspectors will not disclose the multitude of the vent hood's demands. Instead, they will only pass one single commandment down to the restaurateur once every 2 weeks until the vent hood decides it has properly dried you of funds to the point where you can open your business without any money left for inventory. I get that the main appeal of the new place was that it actually had a functioning toilet and stuff already installed, instead of some dude going, yeah, the sewer main's somewhere over there, have fun digging. Those are huge bonuses, but surely the lack of vent hood would have been something that would have come up, just literally walking through the property's back of house. I mean, you could just go, hey, is there a vent hood or isn't there one? Sadly, Doobie's out of money, gambled and lost. He does, eventually, post another Kickstarter, entitled The South's Finest Hot Dogs and Hamburgers, trying to get more money to help with the range hood. This is launched in early December and is closed, unfunded. On Jan 4th, 2014, the Goon well has run dry. Our range hood seemingly claims another victim. Or does it? It's April 2014. WrestleMania 30 had just happened in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans, and in front of 75,000 people, Daniel Bryan had defeated Batista and Randy Orton in a triple threat title match. But also, Doobie's Doghouse is open for business. He's done it. Our good old boy from Alabama has done it, or he's about to. It's due to open Easter later that month, but here's what he's serving on the menu. A chili cheese dog. The Main Street Griller. the Memphis barbecue dog, the Pickens Co. tornado, the Polish dog, the Doobiest Maximus. Yes, Doobiest. Yes, Maximus, a Polish dog loaded with grilled kraut, onions and ground beef, the Godfather Italian beef sandwich, the Doobie burger, fries, chili cheese fries. He's even got soda in glass bottles, but you might be noticing something missing. Where is the frog dog? Turns out, it just sort of worked out the way it did, but he'd already dropped the frog dog from the menu. It just don't work. It was cool and all, but it had to go. Good food and a great atmosphere is all I need, not mascots. Doobie, you bastard. After all that was done for you, no frog dog. I love the menu he posted. There's multiple fonts, the arbitrary combinations of bold, underlined, italics. The prices are a bit high, $3.50 for a hot dog in 2014 in Alabama. Seems off the charts. Serves both Mr. Pibb and Dr. Pepper. How can the Frito pie be famous? You've just opened. Where's the frog dog? Sure, let me get myself a Pickens Tornado and a Doobiest Maximus for $12 and shit myself to death, I guess. I'm gonna rip off a joke from the thread, hold on. My name is Doobiest Maximus Meridius, commander of the 399 Frog Dog armies, father to a toasted bun, husband to 100% genuine Alabama wieners. I will have my relish on this dog and the next. He's also announced his training hours, 10 to 3 p.m. Monday to Wednesday, 10:30 to 9 Thursday to Saturday, and closed Sunday. We're still right opposite a Subway, by the way. He's taken out no advertising, counting on trucker CB chatter to fuel demand for his hot dogs. Come a few days after that, we get a fresh Doobie update. Fixing to do it again, more than one or two can do. So my guy's out here saying he's too tired after working for 7 hours a day for 4 days and is considering his employee hiring based off of opening day traffic. We do have to ask, why is he closing at 3 p.m? He responded by stating it takes him 3 hours to clean the grill surface and a fryer. And sure man, but where's my frog dog? When pressed, he clarified, not possible. Frogger's stuff didn't come round till near end of funding. Nice try though. Doobies owns rights to frog dog and emblems. I can pretty much do what I want with it. In this case, I dropped it completely. And I know this is a decade old and not really worth relitigating, but does anyone else find it suspicious that despite his second Kickstarter falling flat, he still managed to open just 3 months later with everything installed and ready to go? He was probably trying to see if lightning would strike twice, and now he's not even honoring his free dogs from the first Kickstarter. The nerve. Also, it turns out the back of the building floods whenever it rains, so bit of a shit show. I've already kept you for quite a long time, but a few goons do eventually visit, and the hot dogs are as bad as you can imagine. He pops up on another forum, trying to justify his kind of racist Facebook posts, and gets laughed at for it. This is a guy who publicly likes a Facebook page called America's White History Month and comments on its posts, so, you know, it doesn't go well. The Doobster eventually shuts up shop mid hot dogs for too much money in a poor town don't go well. July 25th, 2016, he makes a tweet saying Doobie's Doghouse 2.0 is coming back in a new location, but it never comes to fruition. The site of Doobie's Doghouse turned into a hair salon sometimes in 2016, and today it's been bulldozed and is now just a car park for a funeral services company. A fitting end. The Subway across the road closed in 2019, and it's a barbecue joint now. An even better end. So maybe Reform Alabama just didn't support or want to support a restaurant of this magnitude. We end today with no Doobie Doghouse, the knowledge that Doobie would definitely 100% have to eventually pay the IRS for his Kickstarter income, and the knowledge that you too can crowdfund a hot dog stand in Hicksville, Alabama, but it might just cost you more than $10, maybe your entire Christmas. Just don't donate to projects where one of the forum mods gives people temporary forum bans when they point out how stupid the idea is. The only thing I'm going to leave you with today is don't forget, the internet makes you stupid.
Walk into the bank with some shit in your pants, 'cause you had too many crystals and you somehow tried to dance. Walk up to the teller with an awkward grin on your face. Hand over the shitty check to him, and it's time to get paid. But he says he can't cash it, 'cause it's covered in shit. There's no way to sign it, and it's not even legible.